Did I mention hello? It's called World of Warcraft. Well, now. Riding crop is from Ramparts, Arcatraz Sentinels, Derpy Derp, McDerpstein. Well, I have to turn this quest. Well, no, we did this shit yesterday. That's right. And I couldn't get the thing to summon. I have to shave today. Riding crop is from what instance? Nazans. I thought so. I thought I knew for sure. Of course, they're delisted now. Son of a bitch. Either way, I wanted to take the time today to try and set up like a large language model on my desktop here, laptop rather, and see how it all works and get to tinkering with some shit. But that's not like a process that I can stream necessarily, so I wanted to do somewhat of a stream. And the thing is I would like to get to where I could try to figure out a way, if possible, which I haven't set up any of it, so I have no clue how easy this shit is to all link together to make it work together and all that. But to see if it's possible to do voice commands to get the point cursor towards certain. And I'm trying to think of something someone expanded on the other day of like with getting rid of a keyboard and mouse potentially it requires a a different type of interface. It's different than just like the traditional interface because there's just some things that you really do need to be able to like actually kind of point to. And one of the things I was thinking of though is that if you were to design a game based on this, um, like a shoot 'em up game or whatever, you would have to potentially. One of the videos I seen online a while ago was a guy that had used a multimodal AI to create a a real life um, like laser gun thing, like enough just to pop a balloon or whatever. And he had various color balloons, and he had the multimodal AI set up to where if he said target red, green, yellow, blue, purple, it knew which one was which based on like its scan or whatever. And I'm trying to think of how you would design a game that could be played that way, where like in game kind of like doing damage essentially might consist of I don't know if you would use colors or if you could use like body parts like leg, head, chest, stomach, shoulders, you know what I mean? If you where you wanted to attack the person at or not or something. I'm just trying to think of ways that you might be able to kind of kind of incorporate that same idea, but how you would use it for targeting instead of like having to point and click. Whereas, like, I guess you would be playing the game like regular, but you would also be either micromanaging a pet to attack based on some sort of color coordination or body part, or the entire game itself would consist of like no keyboard, no mouse, and you would use just the speech to text or whatever um, prompts to control the character or not, right? But I think it would be best maybe for that kind of thing. But like, I like the idea of pets in video in game being like voice commanded only, or not only, but have the option to. Because the idea is like, well, the fact that I sit here and stream and talk to people, sort of, sort of, uh, is interesting enough. But if it were to be productive and is something that could be used actually like towards completing objectives in the game in some way, shape, or form, But I don't have the technical know-how, but I am going to try and at least spend time today to try and set up the actual large language model portion and try and do some research, but I'm not super familiar with Python or any of this stuff, so um, and plus I do only have one computer and I would prefer not to do it all in the same machine, but so I'll only go so far with it, the stuff that is, like maybe just the large language model portion of it. I don't necessarily need to get to the process of like automating stuff until I get a new computer. Um, but I'm just interested to see, test some things and see what it's about and how easy this shit is to like, how much actual knowledge about AI does somebody need to just to kind of plug these things together? Yeah, I don't know. And there's a lot of things that get called AI that aren't, and various other things. So I want to make sure that I can do that correctly if possible. But if you were playing the game, like, and you think of it like you're fighting a boss and you're fighting like this, and then as you're fighting the boss, though, he is like shooting things at you, and they're various colors. If you remember those old virtual cop games at the arcade and stuff, where the shit flies at you real slow, and you have to like shoot it out of the sky. That, but with a little more detail, where essentially you have to command your pet to shoot the objects out of the sky as they fly towards you while you play the regular game. You know what I mean? Where you voice command certain functions while you know what I mean. Your pet has a few skills like a snare and a damage attack and like something else where it's like okay, snare one, snare green, shoot red, uh, whatever yellow, I guess, right? And try to see if you can just real basic, kind of like nothing too ridiculous, and be. But the thing is, like, you have to have a game that does that already. Uh, but the idea is that if you wanted to make it that like kind of like that would be like one of the concepts as to how it might work if you wanted to actually design a game around that feature or wanted to incorporate that sort of technology into gaming, or if you had like a map, right, and there were different zones and they were color coordinated, right? You could call like an airstrike based on the color for something like Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Like a grid structure, like different colors and then a number associated with each to make a grid, and you could call airstrikes to specific coordinates based on your map, you know, because in game currently I believe you actually just, which is like, I know it's like, well, why not just click it? It's, yeah, I know, but you know, I'm just thinking of different things, right? Possible use case scenarios. I think the idea of a pet would be cool that responds to voice prompt. And I would think like, yeah, it'd be cool to be able to proof that concept by just being able to say frostbolt, fireball, and it fucking do the shit, right? That's simple enough, but I also don't want to get my character banned because I think they have some policy against automation. And I definitely don't want to get my character banned testing out how to do any of this stuff, so I might have to find I might have to find some just like basic Flash game at some point in time that has similar features or something. It has something like, you know what I mean? Like the thing I'm talking about.
The dark times will pass. We will have justice.
Or what? Yeah, or what? I'll write my congressman. They don't read what I say anyway. But the thing, if I had to guess, man, I would just, you know, I'll get to looking at it later. I wanted to at least do something because I like to stream at least a little bit to make sure I have like some sort of minor discussion. And then what later in the day I'll look at some stuff. Huh. Yeah, I could look at that fucking mult thing and all that. And I'll try and figure out a way to get it to move the mouse around, I guess. But I'm sure this should exist, Jerry. There's a lot I have to learn about it. Is it like, that's what I think is what I don't know is like how much of it is just plugging things together and me not knowing how to do that because me caveman and me didn't graduate high school and me didn't take college courses and me am lazy sometimes and me and play a whole bunch of video games when me could be doing something more productive, right? How much of it's that? Well, shit, dude. I've learned so much, in my life. I feel like at some point in time, maybe I need to unlearn some things, right? I've always said, like, well, when I get there, I'll figure the shit out, but I always do. It's just, if we're gonna, at some point in time, I'm the type of person that, I don't know what type of person I am. I don't know what type of person I am, but, you know, sometimes I don't know how much I know about things. And since I have no one to ever say like, yeah, that sounds right or that like I'm just always trying to do more, and trying to learn more and then when I get to the point where if I know this is our tank here. What is your name, tank? His gear looks like it's good enough for this. Shield of the shitter and some stuff. What's your health like, guy? Oh wow, wow, 12,000. Yeah, he surely has enough gear for this, doesn't he? But the thing is, last couple of years, I spent every waking moment trying to do something right, and now I get a little time off, and I'm not gonna beat myself up over not like stressing myself out, and um, you know what I mean. I feel like I deserve that. I've had a rocky road. Not to say rocky, but just I've been pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself and just hang out, bro. Chill out, bro. Get a beanbag chair and play Nintendo, bro. Ain't that serious? Saw a TV show about a nun that learned fucking C sharp when she was like 70 and won a Nobel Prize or something. So if that old hag can do it, then I can do it. I don't know how true that story is, but it sounds true. You can't prove me wrong. She won a Nobel Prize and everything. There would be no record of that, would there? And she had Down syndrome. And she was retarded. Golly, talk about adversity. Right. She made it, dude. She won a Nobel Prize and everything. Her and Temple Grandin, they're actually colleagues. You ever watched the Temple Grandin movie? She had autism and she invented a hugging machine to give cows vaccinations and won a Nobel Prize for it or something, didn't she? Is she single? Do you think she's single? Let's see. Looks like it. Turn your phone sideways. Oh, Joe Bob Briggs, dude, that guy's awesome. If you remember watching TNT, like in the 90s, I think it was TNT, right? Or USA Network. He always hosted like the slasher marathons and stuff on the Friday the 13th. And he had his like weekly talk show, old Joe Bob Briggs. I don't know what he was famous for before that, but he's still around, man. That's pretty good. He used to host like every Friday the 13th. There'd be like a which do they like? How much fun was that? That time in my life now. My older brother was obsessed with the shit. He dressed like Jason from Halloween till he was like 30. Like went around trick or treating it as Jason for Halloween like till he was 30. Probably still does, right? He has to wear a mask on top of his mask though, right? So he doesn't get caught. Um, but he didn't. He discarded all holidays, right? Fucking didn't adhere to Christmas, Kwanzaa, Friday, or any other holidays. And for whatever reason, though, every Friday the 13th, however many there are a year, there might not be one every year, whatever it is. Right? He was like it was all he cared about. You know what I mean? A strange fella that way. He's not like that anymore. But he used to be at some point in time where like the rest of our family, how we treated Christmas and how we treated Thanksgiving growing up was how my brother treated every Friday the 13th. Like it throws you through a loop though when you're like, well, we've celebrated all the holidays. Like, what the fuck is James doing? You're like, oh well, we all have to now celebrate these holidays too, right? Like, could you imagine like basically having an alien for a roommate that celebrates a bunch of weird holidays nobody's ever heard of? Not only that, they're not even annual. They're just like whenever he wants to do the shit, pretty much. So he would always dress up like Jason and all this stuff, and like not everybody was clued into the fact, and people would be kind of perturbed, like kind of offset by the fact that he was dressed like a serial killer, on like a Wednesday, for no other reason other than, oh yeah, no, I guess no, not a Wednesday, on a Friday, obviously. Oh, it was like a 3 or 4 day holiday that day, right? On a Friday, just a random Friday evening, like, why are you dressed like this again? Right. Um, Covered in blood and trick or treating. It's September, right? Well, that's the type of guy he was, and then he would get upset whenever they didn't have candy and all this stuff, and he'd terrorize the neighborhood and TP's people's houses and put shaving cream on their windshields and everything else, right? And then he got a promotion here just recently, and he's kind of settled down some the last 6 months or so. He's really kind of he's 50 years old, yeah. He's got this promotion at work that kind of is taking the wind out of his sails as far as LARPing as a serial killer. But other than that, how do you not do Millhouse? Is there any way to not do it that way? Not that I want to, but not do. Something like that. Anyway, old Joe Bob Briggs. Oh, shut up. That's a good change. I like that idea a whole bunch. I've never seen it done without Millhouse. I didn't know if there was a way to like not spawn them or what. Yeah. But whatever, I think whatever, like, is there a company now? The thing I'm going to use is because it runs locally is Llama, like whatever token count model it is. I guess it's a billion tokens or whatever. And is there like a suite that you would specifically suggest of like certain, like, does this not plug into all the other shit? You know what I mean? Is there like, oh, because if I can square pegging around the hole or vice versa, they just don't work. I want to use whatever's the most like adaptable kind of, for plugging into other shit. Um, I guess it all is, right? I'm so fucking clueless as to any of this, but I want to fucking try and learn it though. Something I can run locally, and then I can even just if I can even just get the thing to talk, dude. I think that'd be. And the thing is, if I, it does it use the same large language model to detect speech as it uses to construct it, then I would use like a low token model, so it just for speech recognition, if that makes sense. Is that how that works? That way, it's like, well, you don't necessarily need all those tokens if it's not generating a response necessarily, but just responding to prompts like text, like to fucking point and click, kind of things. But I'm gonna try and do some of that later and see how it works. Hopefully, it's the most awesome thing ever. It might not be though. Did we summon everybody? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. I like doing these because these are difficult. These are harder to do. The tank's gotta have good gear and everything. But what I looked up online yesterday was something involving something or another. Python, something I fucking don't know how to do. I have to figure it out. I've done it before when I was younger, and I haven't done it for a while, and I don't remember how to do it. So I'll refresh myself. Nice cloak, bro. Cloak of the Necropolis. Void Heart. He's already got 2 piece tier 5. Oh my god. Does he collect Pokemon cards? Just I don't know how practical that is. Like, it's a proof of concept thing. I'm like something I would like to create something that I actually use, and like if assume I'm going to know how to do it anyway. But I would like to think of like a something that I actually Right, yeah. Just might go on with the moon then. I'd like to think of something practical. Seeing as how these guys are ranged, I figure you want me to shoot at least something. Yes. But that should give me something to do at least for the evening. I have some other things to take care of too, and yeah, so I'll only be doing this for a few hours. I'm not gonna stream obviously because I don't know like what the fucking how sensitive the shit in the terminal is to people seeing it and all that. And I have to get a look at what it is first before I start messing with it. And what I've seen is there are some pre-existing vision-based things, which is important. But what I saw is that they write the vision data to a JSON file, and I don't know, I haven't really tried, but I don't know how to get some other type of AI to read a JSON file in real time without having to save. You know what I mean? Like, it's great for I guess processing one image at a time, but to make the process automatic, like I don't know how to do that yet. I have to look and see how do you read and write a JSON file simultaneously. Is it more of a databasing thing than it is file writing and reading? I'll have to figure it out if I get that far, but I think being able to at least enable the vision feature and the actual large language model portion is like a probably pretty cool thing to see happen. You know, if I can get that far, I'll be fucking super surprised. I don't know how much system resources, but I get that it writes the information to like a stagnant file, I believe, right? And I don't know. I've never done it before, so I don't know if there's what the hurdles are of examining files and reading and writing them in real time. If that is considered something to be more like databasing, and then just regular file saving and reading and sharing and all that. Um, and I have to figure out all this shit, I guess. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. I don't think I'm getting anybody's hopes up, bro. I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying I'm gonna try and see more about it. But if I could even just get it to fucking examine the screen, and if you get it to scan the screen and it's able to convert some of the information to a JSON file, then essentially the JSON file becomes training data. And if you can set it up in like a database to run in real time, you can kind of compile more than just a screenshot at a time and actually use the the information that it scans on the page as training data. And something that I read about was state determination, and being able to identify like what is essentially what's going on at that point in time. And um, there's a few other things. I think if I can, like I understand the concept, I guess, but I wouldn't know how to do any of this shit. I just gotta apply myself, maybe. Spend if you could just spend maybe 2 hours of the 30 hours that you play World of Warcraft a day for the last week. I actually haven't been playing it that much. I did a raid last night, which was super fun though. I haven't done that shit. I've never streamed a raid before, and I did a raid like a few weeks ago, but it's been a while, man, since I've done any of that shit. And everybody's like, "You gotta spec arcane, you gotta spec arcane," and I was doing pretty good damage. I think fire. I was like second for the second or third for the, not including trash and stuff, because trash is so bland. Right? I think it's like second or third. The hunter there was tearing it up though. That guy was super good. Super good DPSer. This is heroic. I need to pay more attention. I shan't be sitting here talking, getting distracted. I'm like, this shit hits super hard. And the thing is, though, if I do familiarize myself with some of it, then running the thing non-locally or remotely is something I could learn how to do. I've done that before. Used to run trade bots and stuff, which required a certain amount of like running shit on a remote server and all that stuff. I turn that person into a frog. Yikes. That'll happen, man. Everything in this instance hits so fucking hard. Yeah. But I didn't know that there was already a vision model, right? I thought that was something that had to be independently created, like on a case by case basis. The fact that there's already like a foundation level vision based analysis tool is helpful for a guy like me that trying to design the thing. I wouldn't know where to begin. Plugging the shit together. I can hook up a VCR, bro. I can hook up a DVD player. I can learn how to run some wires. That's a little different. I'm just now starting to understand the science portion of it. So wait, what? Pump because I'm gonna take big damage. Line of sight. Nova. Pull back here. Unlock E poly. Where do we go? What do you line of sight? What? LOS to distance, to range the thing. Whatever. Stand where the druid is. Resist. Perfect, man. Great. Now fucking light him up. Oh no. Oh no. Shit. Yeah, that happens. We'll be alright. Oh, you should have fucking just healed the guy. Fuck. Perfect. Yeah, yeah, I didn't know that shit. I don't have cables. Thanks for the battle res. That guy honked. Should have saved it, man. It's just a short run back. Yeah, perfect, I guess. I thought I should have saved the battle res, but that was shitty. Can you range the Nova? The Shadow Nova? Actually, you said line of sight. Did you mean range? Those are two different things. Really? Yeah, you said LOS. Range, yeah, I know I've done it before, but he said LOS, and I normally range it, and I'm like, this guy's standing here. Do you want me to fucking hide behind something? Yeah, I guess people sometimes, right? The vernacular gets shit thrown sideways. I'm trying to think of a way that I could use it for this, right? It's like, I don't necessarily have to figure out a way to do that now, because eventually I'll be able to use Leah, hopefully, for that part of it. But I mean, it's like just for a learning experience. Like, how might I use it if I knew what the fuck I was doing with the thing, right? But like at some point in time, it would be great to know how to do this shit and be able to come up with like a feature and say like, yeah, well, no, I actually fucking, you know what I mean? Okay, so what did we do last time? We to do. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Mage armor is probably helpful here. Do we have a frost resist aura? Okay, Well, we might want it just because, but if we're gonna, I'll put on whatever. What ore do we have instead? Where is? Okay, if you say so, guy. Oh, you fucking pulled the curse of elements. Yikes. That's alright. Type pretty quick. We got that one all by itself. Good for us. The one thing I did I think would be kind of cool would be to just be able to tell it to mount up and what zone to fly to. You know what I mean? It would have to learn one, two, three, four, five, six, seven different zones or cities or whatever, and just being able to tell it, okay, mount up and go to point whatever. But we have to learn how any of this shit works before we get to that point. And I'd have to get another account or do it on a test server so I don't get banned. For automating. Oh my god. Good god, that guy's getting hit hard. Ooh. This is unfortunately one of those instances, right? Oh. I'm just trying to think of an application. Like, how would I use the thing? Like, it has to be something that I'd want to use, not just like, I guess just to test to see how it works, just to figure out how it works is also, you know, helpful. He's nature damage now. He's nature damage now. We've lost him to the wilderness. Oh, we pulled all this stuff last time we from cheese ball skipping shit. Cheesy poo. Can you mitigate that? There's not much I can do. There we go. This thing's getting hit hard. Has a ton of health, man. Druid's just kind of I would say, the least likely choice for a single target DPS or single target healer Druid. 'Cause it's all like HOTS and all that stuff. Although they gave him, what was that stuff called? Where it, can I outrange this at all? I can't. Well, no. Cool. So, does anybody know offhand what spell did they nerf that made Vitalik quit World of Warcraft for that day, right? That day that he logged off and said he quit WoW. I'm sure he doesn't play it anymore, does he? What spell did they nerf? Someone showed a picture of a Siphon Life. I don't know if that was it or not. Yikes. Oh, Jerry. That's two of them guys. As tough as it is with just one of them guys. Did he do it? Oh, man. He didn't do it. Oh. Oh, okay. Do we run back? I guess so. But once I see how intuitive it is, right, I might, for all I know, right? This is a tough instance, man. This shit is like, what do you do there? I guess we might have been all right if we'd only pulled one, but one, two, three, four, five. There we go. Are you fucking serious? Resist. Why? Alright, huh? Alright, now. We can do this. Hopefully I'll be saying that later. Oh shit. can't. God, I cannot sheep him. Shitty. He's the one guy I can't sheep right now. Can't sheep Trey. I might pull aggro if I keep critting. Maybe not. I thought I had an extra combust on there. Quickness with the heels on that druid. I know they're wearing fucking Christmas decorations for shoulders. Damn, dude. Almost had him on that damage. See, all the fucking characters in this game are all the characters. Can you say it in a language anyone understands? Are all the characters in this game? Which it might be cool to create a thing that translates to Esperanto in real time. That might be fun. Yeah, they all sound like the fucking the people that did the voices on the Power Rangers. Why do all the voiceover actors? Did the people that made this game fucking hire the people from Power Rangers to do all the voices? Sounds like it. I shouldn't need it. I'm good. What's this Warlock's gear like? Cause he. Oh, I've seen these before. Engineering, I've already got those. Go figure. The thing that's like an impossibly low drop rate is this fucking engineering helmet that lets you talk to ghosts or something. You're like, yeah, great. I mean, totally worthless item. Hey now. Look, we're all on the same page. We're already to this part? Wow. What what do we want me to sheep? Any sheep? I'm a sheep. Dub 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 dub. Wubba lubba dub dub. You pulled aggro. Oh no. Anyway, guys. This is much more smooth than the other day. Remember spell steal. His rapid shot. I think the infernals are immune. I don't know if they're immune or not. Dub dub, oh no. Oh. After this, I'm gonna go eat lunch. I'm probably gonna have to step up the amount that I'm eating. It's just, sometimes it's, you know what I mean? I don't like eating a bunch of junk food in the name of like getting a certain amount of calories and shit sometimes. Right. Probably. Basically, the strategy we came up with yesterday. It's different with the druid though because their hots still tick and heal even when they're stunned, whereas single target, they're stunned, the fucking tank dies, right? Yikes. Ooh. Oh, I should have saved his Ankh guy. Oh, he has. So, okay, so he has Ankh and Soulstone, so okay, good. Okay, okay. Good, good, good. Managed to skirt death a few times. Huh. There you go. Shit. Yikes. See, and the tank stays hotted up, and then stun wears off, and we win. On this one, what did we say we did last time? Respect frost because the thing was immune to fire. Right.
I had to let them out. There are snakes through that sea.
Ahoy!
What is this? A lowly gnome? I will do better, oh great.
Super helpful. Zero sugar, I hope. Fire resist. Fire resist. What's that for?
One final cell remains. Yes. Right away. Welcome, oh great. I am your humble servant.
No! Alright, now. Much smoother that time, too. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna make lunch and I'll be back on later, possibly.